Good morning. Welcome everyone to our annual retreat. We are having this retreat with Swami Chetanananda after 3 years. He used to come regularly without fail for many years. That means today's retreat is 23rd annual summer retreat. So you can imagine that 22 times he came and he is still coming. So today's subject is stories of Vedanta monks, and our retreat will be up to 12 o'clock, and before the break there will be questions and answers, and those who will ask questions, please hold the mic, then speak the question and Swami will answer. Then there will be a break at 12 o'clock, then 1 o'clock we have lunch. Up to 2 p.m. there is time for resting, and at 3:15 we have songs. We have our musicians, they will be singing songs, and one musician is coming all the way from, I don't think he has come already, but he's reaching from Portland, driving all the way. So we are expecting him to come and present his music. Then second session will start at 4 p.m. and it will also end with questions and answers. And please hold the mic before you ask the question. Then there will be break. Then we have Vesper service as 5:45. And then, of course, at 6:15 we shall disperse with refreshments. And Swami will be speaking tomorrow also at 11 a.m. And the subject of his talk is Significance of Sri Ramakrishna's Name and Words. Now I'd like to introduce Swami Chetanananda, though he does not require any introduction, but those who are new and those who want to refresh, just for them, I would like to speak. He is, as you know, he is a monk of Ramakrishna order, and at present he is the minister in charge of Vedanta Society of St. Louis, as well as Vedanta Society of Kansas City. He has been associated with our order since 1950, and officially joined the order as a monk in 1960. And he was initiated by Swami Shankarananda Maharaj, the 7th president of our order, and the private secretary of Swami Brahmananda Maharaj, who was a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And before coming to the United States, Swamiji worked in the publication and editorial departments of Advaita Ashram, Mayavati, Himalayas, and its branch in Kolkata. He served as assistant minister of the Vedanta Society of Southern California, Los Angeles, from 1971 to 1978. He was transferred to St. Louis, Missouri in March 1978 and served as assistant minister of the Vedanta Society of St. Louis under Swami Satprakashanandaji. He became the minister of the society in January 1980 after the passing away of Swami Satprakashanandaji in November 1979. He is also the minister, as I told you, he is also the minister of the Vedanta Society of Kansas City in Missouri. They are going to have a very beautiful, center now. It was, at present it is in a, house. Now, actually, it is also be a house, but it is a more spacious place. 4-acre place they have got, and Swami is developing it. Now I have to tell you about his publications. He regularly writes, especially in our magazines, Prabuddha Bharat and Bengali magazine, Udbodhan. He is a prolific writer in English as well as Bengali. So a list of his books, just probably it will not be exhaustive, but still I need to mention, all the books will be available in our bookstore, and he will be happy to sign them also. And I shall definitely recommend that you concentrate on 2 books which actually was not displayed, because during the COVID these books came. So Sri Ramakrishna, A Divine Life in Pictures, and The Story of Vedanta Monks, Volume 1. These 2 books actually are new books. Then Holy Mother, a biography in pictures, Sri Ramakrishna and his divine flame, Sri Sarada Devi and her divine flame, Ramakrishna, as we saw him, they lived with God, God lived with them. Girish Chandra Ghosh, Then how to live with God. Then Vedanta, voice of freedom. Vivekananda, East meets West. Then Mahendra Gupta, meditation and its methods. A guide to spiritual life, teachings of Swami Brahmananda. How a shepherd boy became a saint, teachings and reminiscences of Swami Adbhutananda. Then spiritual treasures, letters of Swami Turiyananda and Avadhuta Gita, the song of the ever free. This is just his English publications. And you can imagine, similarly, he has probably same amount or same number of books in Bengali also. Now, he has also produced some CDs and also video tapes. So this is about him. Now, I would like to specially mention about today's weather. The temperature will go up to 108. And some of you have never experienced that because some of you are coming from the Bay Area, probably air-conditioned area. But here we have 4 places. That means this place, bookstore, library, and also the assembly room. So these 4 places are air-conditioned, so please use them during the recess time. And please be hydrated because we have plenty of water, as you know, and bottled waters are there and also some drinks are there, so be hydrated. That is my request. So I thank you very much for coming and attending, and this is we are turning a new chapter in a sense. That means after COVID, everything has changed, or most of the things have changed, but we are still going strong with Swami Chetananda's retreat. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Bandau Santa Santana Charana Dukha Prado Bhayo Bicha Kusuvarna Vichurita Eko Prano Harilei Milato Eko Daruna Dukadei Tulashidasha, a medieval mystic. I bow down to the holy. I bow down to the unholy. Because both give me pain. When an unholy person comes to me, it torments me. I get pain. And when a holy person departs from me, I get pain. So I salute both. God dwells in all human beings. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, 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 control. As you have heard, this retreat is on stories of the Vedanta monks. On last few occasions, I talked about the first volume of these stories of the Vedanta monks. Today I shall speak to you about the second volume. In 1970, I met a Swami in Banaras, Swami Dhireshananda, a disciple of Sharadananda, a great scholar and a great sadhaka. He told me, I have some diaries. When I shall die, they will throw away the whole bundle into the Ganges. Why don't you take them to America and work on them? I got a treasure trove. 16 diaries. And those diaries brought these 2 volumes, mostly, not all. What are on those diaries? Sri Ramakrishna is our origin. Then his disciples are the first generation. They are trained by Sri Ramakrishna. The second generation is who were trained by Sri Ramakrishna's disciples. So we did not see Sri Ramakrishna, we did not see Ramakrishna's disciples, but we saw the second generation. And how they are trained by them, by those direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. Their stories I am going to tell you. If somebody comes and tells you, I was with Jesus Christ, and I heard by myself the Sermon on the Mount, immediately we go to him and we want to hear first-hand information. We love to hear directly from these people. That is the reason I started this project. Anyhow, I am very happy. This book is very popular. First volume has been translated. You will get it in the bookshop. Second volume, translation is done, now in the process of typesetting. This morning I was thinking that how shall I introduce my talk? Swami Vishuddhananda, a disciple of Holy Mother. I met him many times. An illumined soul. Wherever he went, he created such a spiritual atmosphere that you don't need to practice spiritual disciplines. Your mind will automatically go up. Amazing person. He talks only about God. He was sent to Madras. Swami Brahmananda wrote to Swami Ramakrishnananda, I am sending a monk who thinks of God all the time. That was his introduction. That Swami's reminiscences I shall tell you in the first session. It was in 1956, summer. The Swami was vacationing. At the time he was a vice president. He was vacationing in Hardwar, in Konkal Sevashrama. After supper, he used to come and sit on the lawn. Hardwar is the foothill of the Himalayas. Then the Himalayan range begins, just close to the Ganges. He used to sit in the lawn, and all monks would come and sit around him. And he used to reminisce. He used to tell the stories of Holy Mother and the Jari disciples. First-hand information. Before I go to his diary, I want to tell you something. Sri Ramakrishna set an exam, set a goal for all of us. Manav Jiboner Uddesho Ishya Labh. The goal of human life is to realize God. That is the goal. Some people may think, why do I need God in my life? That is the second thought came to my mind. I have money, I have a big position, I have husband, wife, children, good home, good car. I have everything one can think of. Why do I need God? That is the question. Well, It reminds me Steve Jobs, who invented this iPhone, iPad. I heard his lecture in Stanford, that what a beautiful talk he gave. He had pancreas cancer, dying. He told his life story. Money cannot save my life. All best doctors cannot save my life. I am going to die. So all these human beings, today or tomorrow, we shall die. What will go with us? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Vidya, Karma, Purva, Prajna. These are the three things will go with us. Vidya means knowledge. Whatever you have gained in this life, they will go with you. Karma, good and bad. Whatever you have done, they will go with you. Purva Prajna, your previous lives' impressions, samskar, they will go with you. Nothing else. So we are in this world for a very short time. I call it as a vacation village. Very short time we are here. Then some people, then why do we need God? That is the question. I remember I used to go when I was a young student to Swami Chetanananda. So he forced me to memorize a mantra from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Raso Vaishaha, Rasa Hivayam Labdvananda Bhavati, Ko Hivanyat Ka Pranyat Jadisha Akasho Ananda Nasyat. Raso Vaisha, Rasa, felicity, bliss. That Brahman, God, is bliss. Who could inhale, who could exhale if that blissful self was not within us? That is the meaning of the mantra. So who could inhale, who could exhale if there is no God within us? We are dead. God, we have peculiar idea about God. Swamiji says, Vedantic God is Satchidananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss, that is God, according to Vedanta. That consciousness is within us. Without that consciousness, you are dead, I am dead, you may be a billionaire, it doesn't matter. So without God, we cannot live in this world. Without consciousness, can you think that you can live in this world? No way. So we are carrying God all the time. But we are unaware of it. That is called Maya. That is the reason we need to practice a spiritual life. Sometimes one person was telling me, Swami, I want to see God. I go, my goodness, you want to see God? If you want to see God, you cannot work anymore. Finish. And you will die within 21 days. Are you ready? Another student came and said, Swami, I want samadhi. I'm going, really? You hire somebody who can hold you. Because the moment you will be in samadhi, Ramakrishna broke his hand, broke his teeth. So this will be an accident. First hire somebody that when you will be in samadhi will hold you. That her husband said, Swami, I can do that job. Let my wife have samadhi. So, another thing, please think. Really what we want. All human beings are seeking one thing, bliss, ananda. Money, husband, wife, children, car, money, everything for bliss. Bliss is the guiding force. Esha ista parama gatihi, esha ista parama loka, esha ista parama sampada, esha ista parama ananda, etasya ananda ista annani, bhutani matrana upajivanti. It is in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This Atman, Brahman, is the goal. is the real treasure. It is real bliss. It is the real abode. Having a tidbit of that bliss that human beings live in this world. Bliss, bliss. That bliss you cannot buy in the market. Peace and bliss, you may be a billionaire. You cannot buy. That comes from a spiritual life. Why do we need God? This morning another thought came to my mind. You have come to attend this retreat to lead a good spiritual life, have some peace and joy in life. Chaitanya mentioned these are the 5 ways you can attain devotion, love for God. Do you know what is the secret? Secret, if you want to love somebody, you will have to know him. And if you want to know that person, you will have to love him. You cannot love a street person who you do not know. So many people passing by, you cannot love them because you do not know them. So if you want to love, you must have to know. And if you want to know, you will have to love. It is interconnected. Love. How can I love God? Chaitanya says 5 things. Holy company, sadhu sangha, naam sankirtan, chant God's name, Krishna seva, worship God, Bhagavat Path, study the Bhagavatam, devotional scripture, Tirthavas, stay in a holy place, Vrindavan, Brajavas. I always ask people, create a little shrine in your house, in your room. That is your Tirtha. It is extremely important to set a shrine in the house. Sri Ramakrishna says also 5 things. Chaitanya says 5 things. Sri Ramakrishna also says the 5 things. First, sadhu sangha, holy company. Second, Ishwarin Nam Gunogan, chant God's name. Third, Sadasad Vichar, discriminate what is real, what is unreal. God alone is real. The world is not real. Why? Your body says so. It is not real. Real means not permanent. Third, Sri Ramakrishna said, Majhe majhe nirjan vas. Time to time go to seclusion and think about God. And 5th, Bakulata. Longing, yearning, hunger for God. If you have hunger, that is the signal that you will see God soon. If you see the golden glow in the eastern horizon, you know the sun will rise very soon. That is the signal, that yearning, longing. How can we create that thing? That is the reason we need holy company. That we shall go. That we shall start. Swami Dhiresananda introduced. It was summer 1956. Swami Vishuddhanandaji used to, after night supper, we used to sit and under the canopy of the sky and stars. He used to talk about the olden days, and I recorded them. The first day, 27th May 1956, Swami talked about one last verse of the 11th chapter of the Gita. Mat karma krit, mat paramo, mat bhakta sangha varjita, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu, jasa mameti panjava. Many of you read the Bhagavad Gita. If you really know who is God, you will have to read 7, 8, 9, 10. The 4 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, you will tell you who is God. In the 11th chapter, you will see God. Krishna showed his cosmic form to Arjuna. And the 12th chapter, the Bhakti Yoga, will tell you how to see God. So these 6 chapters in the middle is very important in the Bhagavad Gita. So Swami is talking about the last verse of the 11th chapter of the Gita. Mat karma krit, do work for me. Mat Parabho, make me your goal. Mat Bhakta, be my devotee. Sangha Varjita, give up all attachment. Know me. So these are the 4 yogas. Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. All 4 yogas. That Swami was talking about. If Krishna says all 4 yogas easily will take you to God. After showing the cosmic vision, cosmic form, Krishna told Arjuna, Sudurdarsham idam rupam drishtuvasi janmamaha. The cosmic, this vital, this cosmic form of God which we have seen, even the gods are desiring to now see it. But you are very blessed that you have seen it. Then he says, this cannot be attained through yajna, sacrifice, austerity, studying scriptures. You cannot know it. Only through devotion you can know it. This verse is very, very important. Bhakta tu ananya sakyo evang evam vidurjuna gatum drashtum cha pravishtum cha parantapa. Do you know what some people want to see? Gatum, want to know. Drashtum, want to see. Pravishtum, how to enter God. That is the whole mystery. Let me tell you what Sri Ramakrishna said to Bhavanath. Hey, you used to see me every week, you did not come last week, what is the matter? Master, I saw you in Calcutta while you were in horse carriage. Look what Sri Ramakrishna said to him. Will you be satisfied only seeing? Don't you want to talk to him? Don't you want to touch him? That is the gradation of spiritual experience. Only vision is not enough. You want to touch him, talk to him, serve him. What a beautiful way Thakur said to Bhavanath. Are you satisfied only seeing me in the carriage? Don't you want to talk to me? Don't you want to touch me? Here, that is the gradation of spiritual experience. That Krishna is saying, Gatum, Drashtum, Pravishtum. Pravishtum, how God can enter inside us. It is reciprocal. The more you think about God, that means God is penetrating inside you. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Otosya protosya, otoproto, saturated. Saturated with God's consciousness. That person only talk about God, think about God, work for God. But Swami, how can I work for God? That Swami is telling. Do you know how to work for God? Ishwar Seva or Jivo Seva. Serving God and serving human beings are the same. Because God dwells in all these human beings. That he said. That is Swami Vivekananda's Karma Yoga. Swami was an attendant of Swami Brahmananda. So he told Maharaj, I do not practice japa and meditation. I get joy when I serve you. Then Swami Brahmananda said, no. You must sit in the morning and evening, which is extremely important. The other day I was talking about, I gave a series of talk on japam. People ask about japam. You can see our website. Why morning and evening are the best time? Do you know why? One Swami gave a beautiful example. Here's the night guard. Evening to morning. And here is the day guard. Day to 24 hours. Morning till evening. When these two guards hand over their charge to the other, at that time they talk to each other. And that is the time the Mahamaya opens the door. At that time you can get out. You can go to the hospital, they will say the nurse, night nurse, hand over the charge to the day nurse, and day nurse hand over the charge to the night nurse. At that time they talk each other in the office, the gate is open, at that time you get out. Get out from the hospital. Why morning and evening are the good time to practice spiritual disciplines? Anyhow. The Swami said, no, not only work, you must serve. Some of the things are so beautiful, so personal. Very funny. Sister Devamata, Miss Laura Glenn, an American devotee. It was in 1908. She was in Madras. She was the woman who was behind Swamiji's Inspired Talks. Very good editor and writer. It is Sister Waldo recorded in longhand. And this woman, Sister Devamata, developed it and made that book. So she was in Madras. So it was Christmas. Swami Brahmananda said, sister, please make a Christmas like the Westerners, like American Christmas. Arrange something in our monastery. So she went to the market, bought some flowers and some leaves and made a nativity of Christ and brought some cake and all those things. And Swami Brahmananda was attending that Christmas service. Goom. When the service was over, Swami Brahmananda told Sister Devamata, sister, I am very grateful to you. Why, Swami? Lord Jesus came. I saw him. But he created such an atmosphere, unbelievable. Lord Jesus came. I had a vision. I saw him. You know, when we read these stories, we feel religion is not a talk. Religion is realization. Swami Vishuddhananda says, well, I asked Sister Devamata was going for shopping. So I said, please buy some lady's finger. She was looking at me. Lady's finger? Well, yes. So, well, what is lady's finger? So I went to the kitchen and brought a okra and showed, this is called lady's finger. She was laughing. Well, Maharaj was very fond of okra. Some small Chinese incidents are so funny. Then Swami said that Keshav Chandra Sen's daughter, Shuniti, came to see the Swami. And she was then 14, 15 years old girl, met Sri Ramakrishna. And she told the story that one day Master came to our house and he asked my father, I want to eat ice cream cone. My father was in that area, where will you get ice cream in that night, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Well, my father was very restless to have ice cream. There is no nearby ice cream shop. Soon a vendor came, they pushed the ice cream, some kind of cart, pushing. Kulpi malai, pass. She bought and Sri Ramakrishna ate ice cream. Do you know what comes to my mind? If any thought of a Nora Brahman comes, that thought must be fulfilled. It is in the Chandogya Upanishad. Jatha charvamoti, jatha kamavoti. Whatever thoughts come to their minds, it will be fulfilled. Because their lives are established on truth and truth alone. That is the usual. Very nice story. Then Swami says, Holy Mother came to Bangalore in 1911. 1910, 1911. We went to Gobipuram temple. Gobipura temple, famous temple in Bangalore, by horse carriage. And when Mother's carriage entered the ashrama, he found a line of devotees. Many devotees are standing both sides of the entrance of the monastery. So Mother says, my goodness, so many people have come to see me. Shall I get down from the carriage? Oh no, Mother. You cannot walk properly. She has some kind of arthritis. Mother, you sit in the car and I shall ask the driver to drive slowly. And Mother was showing the Bharavaya. He was showing the posture of the boon and fearlessness, that mudra. And people are so happy. Then what happened? Mother went to a room and all the devotees came and sat. Mother was lamenting, I am so sorry, I cannot speak with you, I do not know your language, Kannada. Then the devotee said, Mother, it is perfectly all right, your very presence is enough. I do not need to, you don't need to talk, Mother. She uplifted. You see, a human heart has its own voice. There is a shloka in the Dakshinamurti Stotram, Chitram Bhatatador Mule. Bhatatador Mule Biddho Shisha Guru Urjuva Gurustu Maunam Bhakhanam Shishastu Chinna Samsayaha. Under the banyan tree, the Guru and the disciples are seated. All disciples are old, Guru is young. Guru is teaching through silence, and the disciples got rid of all doubts. Silence. Maunam Bhakhanam, Maunam means silence. Through silence, he solved the problems, all the answers, all the questions of the disciples' mind. So that we feel about Mother. Just through her silence, she will remove all of your doubts, all the clouds of our mind. Mere presence. That is our Mother. The Swami says, it was in 1916, I was in Jairambati. Many devotees came. It was just 2 days before Sri Ramakrishna's birthday ceremony. So some people say, Mother, we want to observe Sri Ramakrishna's birthday in Jairambati, you are here. Mother says, Amar bhaktiyo nei, shaktiyo nei. Neither I have devotion nor any power to arrange a big festival here. Then she kept quiet. Next morning, a devotee from Bankura district, Bankura town, Vibhuti Ghosh, he brought 1 bullock cart loaded of food, fruits, flowers, a lot of things which can be fed for 500 people. Whatever wish came from my mother's mind, fulfilled. Then Swami Vishuddhananda said, do you know what? Myself and Swami Kedar Baba, then we both went to, after supper we went to bed. Then Mother sent one of her attendants, please call those 2 monks. When? Well, I saw she was standing with 2 glasses of milk. At 10 o'clock, she was waiting. Well, Mother, what is the matter? My sons, you are monks, nobody will feed you. Those who are householders, they have family members, they are well taken care of. This village does not have sufficient milk, not available in that village. So 2 glasses of milk you drink. But we understood. Even my own mother doesn't feel that way as Holy Mother felt for me. You know, when we try to understand what is love, what is love, what is love, it shows, it comes from your karma, from your action. You know, this is the way we try to understand what is true religion. Then Swami was very learned monk. He was talking about, you know, that sometimes I recite that verse to you, perhaps you know. But what is the source of that verse, that shloka? Shall I tell the Sanskrit? Please let me. Rupam rupa viburjidesya bhavato dhyane najat kolpitam stutya nirbachaniyata akhilo krido guru dhrikrita janmaya papittancha nirakritam jat tirtha jatradina shantavyam yogadisha tad vikarata doshatrayam matkritam. Oh Lord, I made 3 mistakes in my life. The first mistake, I know you are formless. But for the sake of my meditation, I imagined your form. I know that you are beyond speech, beyond expression. But for the sake of my prayer, I uttered words. I know you are all-pervading. But for the sake of meditation, or for my pilgrimage, I visited many places to see you. So Lord, please forgive my these 3 mistakes. He said, perhaps it is said that it is composed by Vyasa, the great sage. But some people say it was composed by Raja Ram Mohan Rai to defend his Brahmo religion. Anyhow, they sometimes used to talk all these things. One Swami came to Swami, but why do we not get meditation? Why do we not get good meditation? Swami replied, because you do not love God. The person you love, you carry that person in your heart all the time. It is very, very common. The person we love, we carry that person in our heart. Do you love God? That Swami answered. Then Swami said, you know, one day Swami Premananda told me, it was in the evening, Sri Ramakrishna was seated on his bed. All of a sudden, he had a mood. He got up from his bed and he started to tie this cloth around his waist as if he is going to wrestle with somebody. And he was singing, Ami Durga Durga Ma Durga Durga bole ma jodi mori akhire dine nataro kemone dekha jabe go shankari. Listen, listen, O Divine Mother, chanting your name if I die. At that time, at my last moment, if you do not come to see me, I shall see what kind of mother you are. I shall fight with you. He's like a wrestler, he's tying his cloth around his waist as if he is going to wrestle or blow each other to the Divine Mother. But I saw. Do you know what I felt? Swami Premananda says, I saw Murtiman Vishwas, embodiment of faith Master has. Mother, you will have to do it. Faith. You can force God to do for you. But that I felt. When I saw that, this scene I saw, Sri Ramakrishna said, Swami, it is, this incident also, I never knew it, but this is a little different way. I heard it in another way. It was 21st June 1956. After evening, Sri Ramakrishna was lying on his bed. Holy Mother entered, making a little noise at the door. He thought that perhaps Master was sleeping. So when she made the noise, Sri Ramakrishna's body was shaken. He signaled Holy Mother to sit down and fan him. So Holy Mother started to fan. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, "Don't make such noise. You are thinking I was sleeping. Actually, I was not sleeping. My mind went to a distant place, far, far away. I saw some people, their white complexion. They are coming to me. They do not want to leave me." By Samadhi, he came to the Western countries. Then he says, if you make noise, my subtle body will not come back to my body. I may die. Do not make noise. If you see me in that condition, just simply, gently rub my feet. That's Sri Ramakrishna telling. Similar incident we heard about Nistarini Devi, wife of Nabagopal Ghosh. Sri Ramakrishna says, "Hey, you must have good jewelry." She was the wife of not a very rich person. "I want to see you, the Divine Mother has various kinds of bangles and jewelry. You must be decked with jewelry." So she came with all the bangles and jewelry. And then Sri Ramakrishna was in his room. That jewelry made some noise. The bangles made some noise. Sri Ramakrishna said, "What? You made noise? Never do that. Look, when I am in Samadhi, if you make that noise, at that time, I connect myself with the infinite with a thin string, so that I can come back again through that line to my body. If that line is cut, I shall not be able to enter my body anymore. I will be dead." You know, these things we have never read in the history or in the books or anywhere else. That in Samadhi, how a person merges into the infinite and comes to the finite body. We have never heard such thing. These are the many, many new things about religion, philosophy, we know in Sri Ramakrishna's life. They are not in the scriptures. For example, Sri Ramakrishna was teaching Akhandananda. When you pray, do you cheer? Do you cry? And if you cry, tears come from which corner of the eyes? Swami Akhandananda was Kunjan's answer. If the tear comes from the inner corner of the eyes, that comes from Anushachana, lamentation. If you see something wrong, I was crying. And if the tears come from the outer corner, that comes from ecstasy. These things are not in the scriptures. It is his personal. That is the reason Sri Ramakrishna said, "Ekharkar anubhuti Vedanta ke chhadiye geche." The spiritual experiences which came to this body have surpassed the Vedas and Vedanta. It is not in the scriptures. From the beginning of Sri Ramakrishna's life, and new scriptures that I wrote in that, see God with open eyes, Ramakrishna Shastra. What is Ramakrishna scripture? What is Christian scripture? Bible. What is Bible? 4 records of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. That is Bible. What is there? Christ's life and message. So Sri Ramakrishna's life and message, that is the Ramakrishna scripture. Avatar, God in human form. What is Buddhist scripture? Tripitaka. What is Quran? Muslim scripture? Quran. This is the way we understand the scriptures. Anyhow. That is a very beautiful incident. Swami, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew, Ramlal Dada, told this story to Swami Vishuddhananda, and Vishuddhananda recounted. After Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, a monk, he is a Ramaite monk, follower of the Rama's order, came to Dakshineshwar and inquired and heard that Sri Ramakrishna passed away. That monk began to cry. Then Ramlal Dada brought some food to him to eat. He declined. He did not eat. 2-3 days he stayed in Dakshineshwar under the Panchabhuti tree. Then one day Ramlal Dada went to see him and he was very happy. What is the matter? Sri Ramakrishna came. I was seated here. He came from the Ganges and stood in front of me. I saw him. Not only that, seeing me that 2-3 days I did not eat, he brought rice pudding for me in an earthen bowl. And I ate the rice pudding. At that time, Ramlal Dada went to see him. You know, we have never heard such things. There is a saying in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Addapi ho sei lila kare gora rai, kono kono bhagavane dekhi bare pai. Still, that Gauranga, these avatars, still they are playing. Some fortunate ones can see them. Well, he came. Then another story, when Ashwini Kumar Datta came, হ্যাঁ সকাল সন্ধ্যায় গোলাপি নেশা হয়. Hello, do you get roseate intoxication in the morning and evening? A roseate intoxication, I shall explain to you tomorrow, which is a kind of God intoxication. How to get it? You know, we practice Japan meditation sometimes mechanically. We are not intoxicated. How to get it? That is the reason I always ask people, read a little Gospel of Ramakrishna. You will be intoxicated. Somebody asked Swami Vishuddhananda ji, Maharaj, whether you are a disciple of Holy Mother, whether Ramakrishna is, who is great, Ramakrishna or Holy Mother? Swami smiled and said, I do not know. But one thing I can tell you, Ramakrishna worshipped Holy Mother. Now you decide who is great. Now you decide who is great. Swami further said, Gunji Bhangama, barrier breaking mother. She is the mother of all. This is John's mother, this is Jack's mother. John's mother thinks that John came from my body, my son. And Jack's mother says, Jack came from my body, my son. And Holy Mother is saying that John's mother, Jack's mother came from my body. All people came from my body, cosmic body. I am the Divine Mother. So that Mother Rouge is breaking all barriers. Amazing. Sometimes if you live with these Swamis, you can learn many, many things about life. I think I told you that story when just before joining in 1959, I was in Benares. One of the Holy Mother's disciples, Swami Hari Premananda, took me to visit Vishwanath, the Shiva temple in Benares. That temple is so crowded, you cannot believe that you will have to just stand. You will push in and push out. Just you touch the deity and then you will be pushed out. So I just touched the deity, the image, and then out. Then Swami asked me, come here, young man. Sit here. There is a marble bench there near the wall. Now he said, you now think about God, repeat the mantra. Momentarily, but very short, whatever you see, that you think. And take a deep impression in your mind before you leave the place. Sometimes when people come, I always ask them, go to the shrine. Sit here 10-15 minutes, think of Thakur, then go and do other duties or meet other Swamis. First you shall take a deep impression from the shrine. That is extremely important. Sometimes, without going to the shrine, chatting with the Swamis or these some devotees. No. First, seek the kingdom of heaven and everything shall be added unto you. Ask, you shall receive. Seek, you shall find. Knock, it shall be opened unto you. And knocking is very, very important. So when we saw these Swamis, we really feel that how they maintain that spiritual atmosphere, created spiritual atmosphere. Those who will come, they will feel it. He told another Swami Vishuddhananda, as I am talking about him, he told Swami Gokulananda told me, today is a very memorable day in my life. I read the Gospel of Ramakrishna 50 times. And every time I read, I find something new. I find something new. This, I started a project this summer. Gospel of Ramakrishna was recorded by 5 people. 5 people recorded Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. First, it was recorded by Girish Chandra Sen, a Brahmo, a disciple of Keshav Chandra Sen. It is Adi Kathamrita. Second, I think that has only 150 teachings are there. Second, it was recorded by Suresh Chandra Datta, Ramakrishna's householder disciples. There are 950 teachings of Ramakrishna recorded there. Third, Ramchandra Datta, Tattva Prakashika. He recorded 300 teachings of Ramakrishna. Fourth, M. Recorded 177 days entries with that 1,000 pages big volume you see. It has 177 days record. That is the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Nikhilananda translated it. Alja Saksari wrote the foreword. That is very famous. Next, Swami Brahmananda. He recorded nearly 250 teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. That I am now translating. A desire came that We read the Bible as Jesus' teachings and life and teachings recorded by Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. So these disciples also recorded. They should become in English. That I started, that project. Of course, Brahmananda's teachings has been translated as words of the Master, but it is a 100 years old translation, so I am translating new. This is the way I think that Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings and messages should come all over the world. They will see what true religion is. In the last few years, one girl, she is from Budapest, Hungary. Hungary. She translated the whole Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna into Hungarian languages. I helped her a little bit. But she is so happy. Last winter, she went to Belur Math. I met her. Now you can ask me some questions. I tried to, this retreat will be a little bit different than other kinds of retreats because I want to give you some information so that you can think. Suppose the Gita, I told you in the beginning how to study the Bhagavad Gita, how to study the Gospel of Ramakrishna. It will help you to connect yourself with Sri Ramakrishna and your spiritual life. Please ask me questions.
Swami, when you think of Swami Prabhavananda, what comes to your mind in Hollywood when you were there?
I am very grateful to Swami Prabhavananda ji. I met him first in 1959 in Advaita Ashrama and Concord. Then in 1963 he came to India during Swamiji's centenary time. And then 1971 I came to Hollywood. I stayed with him for 5 years. He died 4th of July 1976. He was a disciple of Swami Brahmananda. And he taught me many things. When I first came, he said, these American people will come first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. If they do not understand you, they will not come anymore. Better learn. So he asked one actress, her name was Madhuri, Indian name. She taught me how to speak. 1 year, nearly more than couple of years, he trained me. Sunday when I lectured, if I make any mistakes, she will say, these are the mistakes I made. One day she scolded me. I said, once upon a time, a traveler was passing through a desert. Bas. You gave a wrong accent. Desert, desert. Desert is ice cream cake. We eat, Swami. A traveler cannot pass through the ice cream cake. Then she used to teach me. Thank you. Soft TA, Swami. A little tongue will come through the teeth. Then I said, thank you. And all laughed. But then, do you want me to be Mother Kalia? Like this, they extended. Wonderful woman. She was from Scotland. I have never heard such human voice so perfect. She used to teach the foreigners, those who want to public speak. Amazing, I learned from this woman. And Maharaj sometimes used to, every day I used to go to see him at 10 o'clock. After his walk, we used to. One day he called me. Chetanananda, could you come? Some reminiscences of Jari disciples are in my mind, please come. So I came, so I asked me to, you record. I said, no, I shall not record, Maharaj. Let me bring the tape recorder. Then you talk about on the tape, otherwise it will be interrupted. Continuously go on speaking, and then I shall transcribe it. But Swami Bigyananda's reminiscences, he told, recorded, and then I transcribed. It came into Bengali, into English. One day he came and says, Chetanananda, I am a little depressed. I said, why are you depressed, Maharaj? He was so older than me, you know. I was 34, 35 years old. And he was in almost 80 years old. I said, Maharaj, why are you depressed? You know, previously I used to go to the shrine 3 times a day. That is the rule system in Hollywood. Morning 1 hour, noontime 1 hour, evening 1 hour. Maharaj wanted all monks and devotees would sit in the shrine. So I cannot go to the shrine anymore. After the heart attack, I get dizzy. I go, Maharaj, you don't need to go to the shrine all through your life. What do you mean? I go, Maharaj, you saw Holy Mother, you are a disciple of Swami Brahmananda, you associated 8 or 9 monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Their life stories, incidents, your connection, all those things are bubbling up in your memory. You have Sharan Manan, you have recollected this. Yes, that I have. Again, that is higher than japa and meditation, Maharaj. If you think of God all the time, that is higher than sitting in the shrine, japa and meditation. Trishanda je bole Kali, puja shanda se ki chai. The person who thinks of Mother Kali all the time, who cares for worship and spiritual disciplines. Yes, you are right. You are right. Then he said, you know, sadhura sadhu sanga darkar. Even a monk needs the company of a monk. Just you say these things, look, I feel now good. Do you know what? There is a mantra in this Chandogya Upanishad. Ahara shuddhau, shatta shuddhi, shatta shuddhau, dhruva smriti, smriti lambe sarva gruntinam vipramoksha. Ahar. The thing which we eat. Don't think we eat only through the mouth. We eat through the eyes. We eat through the ears. We collect information through various ways. Ahar means arhiyate, we gather, we put inside the mind. We are constantly feeding our minds. That is called ahar. So if you constantly ahara shuddha means pure thoughts, pure things, if you constantly feed your mind, ahara shuddha, shatta shuddhi, shatta means mind, the mind will be pure. If you constantly give good food to mind will be pure. Shatta shuddha dhruva smriti, if you have constant good food inside the mind, you will get constant recollectedness of God. And if you have constant recollectedness of God, dhruva smriti, then vipramoksha, you will be liberated. Maharaj gave another example, I remember. Here is an ink pot. All ink is dried out, dust, cobweb, all those things in the ink pot. The ink pot you cannot remove from the table. How will you clean the ink pot? Bring a hose put water, flash the water in the ink pot. First the cobweb, dust, all the black ink will come. When whole thing is clear, then go on pressing that hose, then you will find clean water is coming. That is it. That is the way you can clean your mind. Bombard, put constantly good thoughts, good ideas, good reading, good company, constantly put inside, your mind will be pure. And when the mind becomes pure, you will see God. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. So I am very grateful to Swami Prabhupada. Next question, please. That actress's name was Arlene Crane. Yeah.
Pranam Maharaj. I have two small questions. One is the first question is, Maharaj, you mentioned that to sit on a bench in the pilgrimage and think about the deity or God. So Maharaj, I have read through your books like this instruction is given by all the senior monks. When you go to a pilgrimage, don't just go to the temple and come out. You sit there and you think of, you do mantra or you think of the deity or something. What we are supposed to do, Maharaj, there?
Where?
When you go to a temple.
Do you know why the temple is so important? Here, so many monks, so many devotees, they meditate. Their vibrations or molecules are on the wall, on the places. It is hard to think any bad thought in front of the shrine. Let me tell you what happens. A monk was testing Swami Brahmananda. So he was holding Brahmananda's hand. He was massaging. And he was telling, let me see, Maharaj is such a great spiritual dynamo. Let me see, I shall try to think a very bad, worldly, sexy thought. So he was trying. 4 or 5 minutes he could not make it. Then Maharaj looked at him and said, could you succeed? He could not make it. I interviewed Swami Boshishan in 1970 in Almora. You lived with Swami Brahmananda for a long time, and could you tell me something which I do not know, something new? But one day I was with Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda, and told him, Maharaj, you are miser. You are a miserly person. Why do you say so? Because you can give God realization to anybody, but you are not giving, you are not doing, you are withholding. You are not giving experience. Then Maharaj says, Kechai, who wants God? Even the monks come and say, Maharaj, give me sannyas, give me mantra, give me brahmacharya vows. Even the monks do not ask, Maharaj, I want to see God. You see, especially these temples and the spiritual places, it's just some atmosphere. If you go to Vrindavan, all the temples, when you visit, you can feel it. In Banaras, because so many monks and the pilgrims make that place living. That is the reason we come to the temple. It is an atmosphere. Just the holy people since Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha is very, very important. But it is very difficult with holy people. Next question, please.
Pranam Swamiji. So my question is keeping that pure mind in the world today is, for me, it's complicated and there's just so many things going on and I don't feel that I can turn it all off as a citizen of the world. So you have a suggestion?
Your question is universal question. It's a mind which make effort to turn the mind to God, but we fail. Again and again we fail. Do you know what to do? Make a routine. Put your life in a routine life. Morning this time, I met a Swami Vivedishananda in 1973 in Seattle. I asked Maharaj, when you were initiated, Brahmananda taught you. Tell me what he taught. Maharaj told me, puja, path, job, dhan, chatte korbi. Puja, a little worship, japam, meditation, and path, a little reading. Then your spiritual life will not be monotonous. Do you know what is? You take a vow. Sometimes we do. I shall hold my mind on this spot just 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Then you see, you meditate 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Once your mind is glued, then it will stick there. First, before you sit for meditation, first watch your mind. Mind, where you are, tell me. Mind, where you are. In this way, talk to your mind. Hey, no, not grocery shop now. Oh, no, not cooking right now. Oh, no, not to job. Oh, no, not this person. No, not now. Swami Chetanananda used to say, before you sit for meditation, put a sign. Trespassers will be prosecuted. No worldly thoughts should come to my mind right now. So in this way, you will find it is a repetition of practice, and non-attachment. These are the two ways you can control the mind. Practice, practice, practice. What your Guru said, practice. And before, tomorrow I shall talk to you how to get intoxication. That is the most important thing. Excitement, intoxication. That's how to get it in spiritual life. You will have to create your own. Swami Chetanananda says, if you do not get a companion, make your own festivity by yourself. Sri Ramakrishna's life, teachings, the monks, if you read these stories, you will be excited. Really you will be excited. That excitement brought me, these 2 volumes came through my excitement. Writing huge amounts of diaries, writing by longhand, making the manuscript for the printer, press copy, by longhand, hours after hours, hand aches. 120 monks' stories are in these 2 volumes. Some are so funny. Some funny things I put, but some... Practice, practice, practice. And struggle, struggle, struggle. That is called spiritual life. Next question, please.
Pranam Maharaj, at the beginning you said that karma, gyan and sanskar will travel with you after your death. How will the sanskar travel to the same extent as it was in the past birth, or will be a modified version of the sanskar?
I could not get the full...
Also, should I repeat? So sanskar...
Oh, samskar. What goes with us?
Yeah.
Vidya. Vidya is knowledge. Whatever knowledge you have, they will go with you. Karma, good and bad, they will go. Purva prajna. Purva prajna means samskar.
So sanskar from the previous
life.
birth.
Oh, it is life, at the millions of lives, samskaras are inside you.
Okay.
Not only one life, millions.
But from this birth to the next birth, will that be a modified version or exactly the same as it was?
No, do you know what? That decides at the time of death. At the time of death, what thought comes to my mind? It is that time, do you know what happens? It is like a rocket. Your jivatma, individual soul, Our teacher told me, let me tell you, he take a rose, squeeze it, throw it away. There is nothing in your hand. You will find rose fragrance is in your hand. But you do not see the fragrance. So all the karma, samskaras, lives in the mind. Millions and millions of life samskaras are in that mind, in that subtle body. So that subtle body reincarnates. And the whole mystery is in the subtle body. Your gross body will go to the crematorium, but subtle body can be destroyed by two ways. One is frying method and one is soaking method. Soaking method means devotion in the sugar syrup. Put your mind there so that it may not breathe anymore. Love of God. And frying method is renunciation. You can burn all of your desires. These are the two ways you can destroy the subtle body. Example, here is peanut. You put in the ground, it will sprout. But if you roast, put in the ground, it will not sprout. Because you destroy its potentiality. That is the way it goes. Whole mystery is in the mind. It's the subtle body. And when we live, really what goes with us? I tell you a funny story. An American put $75,000 cash under his bed and wrote in his will that when I shall die, please put the $75,000 cash in my coffin so that I'll not have to get any financial problem in heaven. So the wife saw the will, pushed the husband the other side, took $75,000, put into the bank, and wrote a check and put into the coffin. Then the children came and asked, Mom, we must fulfill the wish of our dad. Well, of course, your dad will cash that check in heaven. Funny. Nothing will go with us, you know. Even though it's samskars, it can be changed. It is an evolutionary process. We are constantly evolving. Those who are very blessed, they turn their minds to the spiritual realm and they make quick progress. It depends upon in how much speed you have your car. 30 miles speed, 50, 60, 70, 80. It depends upon what is the speed. It all depends on each individual. Another thing is enthusiasm. It's very, very important. Some people practice no enthusiasm, like jade, you know. Much excitement. Our Bodhatmananda used to tell, you know, when you come, I want to see some smiling faces. But I want to see some smiling faces. Otherwise, all the time, you know, gloomy, grouchy face in spiritual life. Please ask me a question.
I will ask you a question. In the beginning, you said that that if you meet a stranger, that you don't love them, but somebody that you know you can develop love for. Well, I'm a stranger. Do you love me?
You say, you may be a stranger, but you came to the temple. This is Sri Ramakrishna's place. Do you know what? Tam ebbo loke nishati tab sadhu karma karayati sadhu chintayati in Kaushitiki Upanishad. The person who loves, if God loves you, he will force you to think good thoughts. He will force you to take you to good association, good place. He will force you to do good action. That means God loves you. That is, you are not a stranger. It may be first time you are coming to this temple, it is God inspired you. Do you know how does it go? Yata kamo bhavati, tata krotur bhavati, tat krotur bhavati, tat karma kurte, jat karma kurte, tat abhishampadate. It's boom, a desire came. What? I am from San Francisco. Swami will give a retreat, I must go. Boom, the desire. Force you to go to the garage, check the car out. Driving 2.5 hours from San Francisco. Came to this temple. then listen. First comes the thoughts, then comes resolution, I must go. Then comes action. And from action comes the result. So your thought, you are not a stranger. A thought came to, I shall go to the Vedanta chapel. That thought forced you to take your car and drive here. Then action begins, and now you got the result. 1.5 hours, I am definite that you forgot the world. You forgot the world, your problem, everything disappeared from your mind last 1.5 hours. That is the way it works. Could you imagine that if God, the world disappears from your mind all the time, how much joy you will get? Next question, please. Cholaji. Yes.
Pranam Maharaj. Maharaj, you mentioned about Swami Brahmananda that when there was Christmas, he said he saw the presence of Jesus. Maharaj,
You are talking Prabhupada.
Swami Brahmananda, when Sister Devamata did the...
Yes.
Maharaj, in much lower cases like us, when devotees are together or with Maharajas and we are singing and thinking of Thakur and talking about Thakur, in that can we strongly believe that when we are in that very mood, Thakur is there and watching us from somewhere and smiling?
It is really, what you think that will be, it is all your thoughts. You see, when the imagination becomes realization, you are thinking that Thakur is in your shrine, actually you will feel that really Thakur is in the shrine. Your inner eye changes. You see, when you are going to be spiritual or not, weighing your body or measuring the shape, we cannot decide. But we can see a God intoxicated person's life, how it changes. You know that you can feel that Master's presence someday, not every day. The day mind is full of Sattva quality, you can feel. Rajas, Tamas, you may not feel it. It depends upon your mind and mood. That is the way it goes. Yes, next question, one question more. Please. Anything? No other question? Good. Then we can go. Yeah.
A lot of times we feel that, I would think, intoxication is spirit. We become more and more spiritual. And sometimes I feel that it's so hard to go back to normal work because we want to practice more and more spiritual thoughts and it just becomes absorbing. So how do we live life when we just want to be spiritual but then we have to work out?
Sri Ramakrishna said, first learn how to dance with 2 feet. Then, when you will be advanced, you will dance only 1 foot. You are more advanced, you will be a ballerina. You will rotate only on your toe, only 1 toe, the way they swing, my goodness. So in spiritual life, in the same way, in the beginning, work and worship must go side by side. Then work as worship. Then work is worship. Work and worship, work as worship, work is worship. My work. This is my worship. I give this talk thinking that I pray to Sri Ramakrishna Master, uplift their minds to the higher plane so that they can understand me. You see, it is if your mind is not up, you will not understand me. If your mind is the lower plane, you're thinking all the things, my lecture will not touch your heart at all. So I pray, Master, uplift their minds to the higher plane so that I can communicate. It is all level of communication, that's how it goes. If I start to work with politics and this and that, no, it will not, this is not this place. So you create your world, I create my world. Everybody creates his or her world. If you really want to be spiritual, create that atmosphere in your home. That is the way it works. Man, the maker of his own destiny. And slowly, slowly you see spiritual people will come to you. You will attract more spiritual people. Worldly people will avoid you. Well, now, you do not talk worldly things. I shall go to the person who talks about politics and gossip and other things. Love God. Thank you. So I shall go to the bookshop and sign some books, and then Swami announced that 1 o'clock they would serve, and just move around and just enjoy.